Is the pandemic providing cover for government corruption? Under emergency laws during the current coronavirus pandemic, the government doesn't have to put contracts out to tender.
Tenders are not legally required when you're in an emergency situation like this.
Which means they can give contracts away to inexperienced private companies or to friends. Take PPE contracts, for example. During the height of the pandemic, the government gave £108 million to manufacture PPE to a chocolate wholesaler. This company had no experience whatsoever in making personal protective equipment. Then you have another PPE contract worth £108 million, which the government handed to a pest control company. This company had only 16 members of staff and was worth just £19,000. The government is now facing a lawsuit over this misuse of public funds.
Corruption related to PPE, life-saving, for me, it's actually a murder.
Another contract that has raised eyebrows is with Public First, a company which is run by a former aide to Michael Gove and associate to Dominic Cummings, Boris Johnson's chief political advisor. They were given £840,000 of taxpayers' money for researching public opinion. Cabinet Minister spokesperson Helen Hayes said the contract is justified as part of the coronavirus response, but appears to be related to Brexit. Public First is owned by the married couple James Frayne and Rachel Wolfe, and when Michael Gove was Education Secretary, he brought Frayne in as his Director of Communications. Gove's department then awarded Wolfe a £500,000 contract to promote free schools, schools which have since been branded by critics a waste of taxpayers' money. Unsurprisingly, this didn't go to tender either. Public First has also been given a contract without tender to work with Ofqual, determining the strategy for A-level results. And then there's Topham Green, the PR firm which was behind the controversial idea to change the CCHQ Twitter page to a false fact-checking page during the election. They even created a website set up as Labour's manifesto to sow confusion. They have been handed a £3 million government contract to work on COVID-19 messaging. And if any of their previous work is anything to go by, we can expect more lies and confusion. These aren't the only questionable contracts which have been handed out during the pandemic. Overall, £830 million has been handed out to over 12 private companies, and out of all of them, no PPE has materialised. Dido Harding, the Tory MP in charge of the failed NHS Track and Trace app and the TalkTalk hacking scandal, was recently appointed the new boss of the agency replacing Public Health England, despite having no experience whatsoever. She was once a consultant for McKinsey, a company which was given £560,000 just for deciding the vision, purpose and narrative of the new Public Health Authority. Then you have Serco, the company best known for running inhumane detention centres. They've been handed a test and trace contract worth £45 million, despite being fined £1 million on a government contract this year. They've already had to apologise for breaching data protection rules on the app. The government has had plenty of opportunities to award contracts to genuine suppliers. There have been countless stories of suppliers reaching out to offer help with PPE, but they've almost always been met with silence.
Channel 4 News has spoken to a number of distributors and manufacturers who have made offers to the government, repeated offers, only to hear nothing back.
That tried to give PPE to the NHS, spoke to Matt Hancock's office, referred to the Cabinet office, then referred somewhere else, disappeared into a black hole. Eventually, the company sold the stuff to America. Shameful.
So now you can see, now we have so many stock.
And here are boxes containing 100,000 PPE protective suits shipped from Italy to Shanghai and waiting to be sent here. Except the UK has not yet taken up this offer.
Boris Johnson has recently promised an independent inquiry into the handling of coronavirus. We must ensure that this lack of transparency, which is so crucial to democracy, is looked at closely. Flexibility under emergency coronavirus powers are not an excuse for the misuse of public funds. The government must be held accountable.